Salutations, future Twig. Past Twig here once again. We're back with another card for everyone today. Today's card we're looking at is Oriq Loremage, which is a 4-mana, 3/3 creature, human warlock. With the tap ability, search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle. If it's an instant or sorcery card, put a +1/+1 counter on Oriq Loremage. So this is a very interesting effect, especially considering the fact that this card is under $1. Tutoring effects, as you know in Magic the Gathering, are cards that can get stuff out of your library by searching for particular cards. And having a creature, nonetheless, that can tap and instantly search for any card, instance or sorcery or otherwise, like a creature card, and put it into your graveyard is such a powerful ability. In Black, there are so many different decks that rely on reanimation strategies, having stuff in the graveyard, and being able to fill your graveyard with targeted searches like this on a creature that you can even reanimate again over and over to bring it back is fantastic. And best of all, this card's only 60 cents, so it's very affordable and very economical for a lot of decks. And a lot of decks is correct because it's in 27,000 decks, or about 0.8% of all EDH rec, which is actually not too bad overall. But I think with how powerful and synergistic this piece is, it could be in a lot more. And let's get into some of those synergies right now. First up, and obviously this one had to get a COD, is Exodus Oriq Overlord. I guarantee you that when the Loremage came out, he was in this deck, or was definitely designed for this commander. It's a Mardu commander, as there's the flip side on the back, which has red in it, and it basically has that Magecraft ability of whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, return target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So obviously, if you have Oriq Loremage on the field, you can tap it, search your library for creature cards to put into your graveyard, so that when Magecraft triggers, you can bring back your creatures. Or alternatively, fill your graveyard of instants and sorceries that have flashback or some other effects like escape. Then inevitably will also allow your Oriq Overlord to proc that Magecraft and then bring out back creature cards as well. So that obviously works with that graveyard synergy. Moving on, you also have cards like Vohar, Voldalian, Desecrator. And obviously we're looking at that secondary ability, which basically says that you can pay 2 and sacrifice this commander. And when you do, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. And if that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile instead, and you can only activate as a sorcery. So again, you can take Oriq Loremage, you can go tutor for different pieces, different instances or sorceries, and treat Oriq Loremage as like a toolbox, where if you need removal, you grab removal and then sacrifice Voldar, or you grab other things. And of course, if a Voldar deck, because you're going to be trying to discard a lot of cards of his first ability, you're probably going to have a lot of cards with flashback and other ways of casting from the graveyard. So yeah, Oriq Loremage in this particular deck makes a whole lot of sense. Last but not least, we're looking at Rakdos with Ayara, Widow of the Realm, who flips into Ayara, Furnace Queen. You can actually read Ayara, Widow of the Realm for yourselves. I just wanted to include her so you know what card to look for. But what I care about is that Ayara, Furnace Queen flip ability, which is at the beginning of combat on your turn, return up to 1 target artifact or creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile that artifact or creature card at the beginning of the next end step. So a great way to utilize Ayara is, of course, you bring back your creatures, and then you also keep sacrifice outlets, which there are a ton of in Rakdos, around, so that before that end of turn, you sacrifice that creature or artifact to get value out of it, and to ensure that it's constantly in the graveyard so it can keep on recurring it. And Oriq Loremage is wonderful in this deck because, as you can imagine, he can put creatures or artifacts directly from your library into your graveyard as you choose to, and as a creature himself, you can potentially bring him back and reanimate him as well, since this is a reanimation heavy deck. So there's a lot of different ways that I think Oriq Loremage could make Ayara Furnace Queen very powerful and allow you to almost treat her as a toolbox commander, where again you can bring out various creatures like Ravenous Chupacabra as an example, throw them into your graveyard, and then have Ayara and other reanimation sources keep bringing them back. And that is actually all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Card Callouts, and have a wonderful day all. Take care.